Welcome back to the Hurry Up Podcast presented by Hoop Good Media Group, powered by TriStateFootball.com. Be sure to follow us on all social media at HG Media Group and at TS Football. Week 10, the final week of the regular season and the final week of season 1 of the Hurry Up. It's been a great season. We've been talking to coaches all season long. We know that these coaches going into the playoffs are going to be, highly focused on advancing, trying to get that state championship. So, we figured staying with this just for the regular season would be best. So this is going to be our final episode of the season. And, very happy with, how season 1 went down. And for this last episode, we will have Clinton-Massie coach Dan McSurley of the Falcons, one of the premier coaches in our area, been doing it a long time with a ton of success. So see what he has to say about his team's Week 10 matchup with Batavia and, how they are feeling as they enter into the postseason in the tough Division IV Region 16 playoffs. So we're going to have Coach McSurley right after this. Yo, it's Lamp, and guess who's back in the game? After a little time on the sidelines to rest and refocus, Lamp's Lab is stepping back onto the field, and we're coming back stronger than ever. We've leveled up our guests, and we're bringing that same energy you love with a whole new edge. It's comeback season. So whether you've been with us since day one or you're just joining the squad, now's the time to lock in. New episodes dropping soon, so follow Lamp's Lab wherever you listen and get ready because we're officially back in the game. All right, so we're back here with Clinton-Massie, Coach Dan McSurley. Coach, you're on a 6-game win streak. Got the playoffs coming up. How you just feeling about your team as you wind down the regular season, Week 10?
Well, anytime you're a small school like us, I think it comes down to attrition. And, we've had to battle the injury bug early in the year. And, you got to kind of manage your injuries and manage your personnel. And, we've lost a few kids for the season, but we're also getting some kids back healthy again. So we're just trying to gear up and trying to make the longest run possible.
And, Week 10, you got Batavia this week. What type of challenges have you seen from them that they could present on film or from your knowledge? They're not having the greatest of season, but what type of challenges do they present for you?
Well, they're real similar to a lot of the teams that seem to be in our league. They're going to run a kind of a wide open, empty set. They're going to run a zone. They'll run a G-Rap play, real similar to a lot of the teams, but they got a pretty good athlete. His last name's Shoebanks. They'll put him in the Wildcat, and they'll try to get the ball to him any way possible. But I think if I'm not mistaken, they've been through the injury bug as well, and they've lost some really good players. So they're just it's like everybody else in high school football. I mean, you got to keep your kids on the field, and hopefully we'll just continue to get better and develop and go in kind of with the same game plan defensively, offensively we have for the past 2 to 3 weeks.
And your defense has been particularly strong. You're only giving up about 12 points a game. Talk to me about the defense, and talk to me about a player like Ty Martin, 44 tackles, 8 sacks, one of the leaders in the conference. So talk about, Ty Martin and your entire defense, what they've done this year.
Well, Ty's a special player. We had a couple injuries early in the year. He's one of our better athletes, so we had to move him to fullback so that we can function in our offense. And then once we got our original fullback back, then he was able to just focus on the defensive side of the ball, and I think that's really allowed him to just get after it and just go all out. But it all starts from the defensive front. We got Eli Ruther, another senior. We got a kid named Dylan Mounts, who's having a really great year at the 1 technique, a 3 technique. Trent Smith's come on, and then our 2 linebackers are fairly inexperienced, but they're really playing well right now. And the back end is one of our strengths. So, defensively, that's what it's going to take. The old cliche is, offense wins games, defense wins championships. So we're going to rely on our defense very heavily coming up.
Yeah, and also when you get into the playoffs, that run game is very important, and we know that you guys like to run the ball, and you got a lot of guys contributing. Obviously, Tristan Trampler, he's over 1,000 yards, 16 touchdowns. But when I look at you got Gray, Warren, Sheldon, Dillon, all those guys capable of having big nights for you. Talk about, your run game and your offense and, kind of how you guys dominate that portion of the game.
Well, we're a fullback-based offense. We run a wishbone. That's our base offense. So when you run that offense, you have to really establish the fullback. And having Brady Gray back at full strength, it just really puts a shot in the arm to our offense. And then the 2 other halfbacks, you can't fall asleep on the 2 halfbacks. And, we're getting a kid named Brett Gray back in the offense. We're getting him. C.J. Sheldon has had a great senior season this year. So we got multiple backs that we can run out there. But I think the hidden factor that people don't realize is we may have one of the best receivers in the league, in my opinion, in Andrew Smith. He's made explosive plays. He's a senior. I don't know what his average per catch, I think, is looking at almost 30 yards per catch. Scored several touchdowns and just made big play after big play. We're getting another kid back, a senior, Xander Mills, back from an injury. So, I think if you really focus on the run game, we feel our tight ends, our wideouts, and of course, Caden Santini, we'll burn you down with over the top with the passing game. So we just got to keep guys healthy and just keep getting better.
Yes, sir. And you're in the tough Division 4, Region 16 playoff picture. Right now, they're projecting you as a 5 seed. Still got a chance to maybe get that home game first round. But such a tough region with some of those teams out there. You talked about making a run earlier, and we don't want to get too far ahead. We know, but how do you make a run? How does your team make a run to, state semifinals, state finals again?
Well, we just got to execute, eliminate mistakes, just focus on just try to get better each week, try to keep our conditioning and strength where it needs to be to compete at a high level. But we're real familiar with this region. We know it's a very difficult region to get through. We're just going to take it one game at a time. It looks like we'll probably be the 5 seed, and it's kind of a unique year this year with the fact that those top 4 seeds are going to go through a bye. So I don't know how. I've never experienced that. I don't know if it's going to improve your team, if it's going to hurt your team by not playing that week. I know if you're a banged up team, it's going to give you an opportunity to heal up. But we're just going to fly by the seat of our pants and see. Hopefully, wherever we end up on the seed is, we're just going to have to beat anybody anyway. So it really doesn't matter to us. Yes,
sir. Well, Coach, like we said, short and sweet. Thanks for coming on, talking about Week 10, and good luck this week against Batavia. And we're looking forward to the Falcons, doing some damage in the postseason.
Hey, thank you very much for having me.
No problem. Have a good one.
Yep, thanks.
Thanks for watching the Hurry Up podcast. It's been a pleasure here on season 1. Thanks to all the coaches who joined the show this season, including this week's guest, Coach Dan McSurley of Clinton-Massie. Just a great season. Thank you all for watching. And until next year, we'll see you next time.